I think I got 2 or 3K left to go.
That was actually really cool. I liked how that worked out. Morning, Trainiacs. Doing something a little bit different today. Commuter bike broke down, as you saw yesterday, and it's still too ugly outside to take one of the normal bikes out the road or the triathlon bike. It'll get chewed up out in the sand and the salt that's still on the roads in Winnipeg. But it's really quite nice out, so I want to do something outside. Oh, yeah. There we go. And Tuesday would normally be I don't know, about a short run day, like a 8 to 10K. And I've got these wonderful dogs here who haven't put in an honest day's work in a while. So I'm gonna run with them the 8K, 8.5K to work, and then Kim's gonna come pick them up during the day. You're just the worst. Pick them up during the day, and then I'll run home. I am horribly ill-equipped for this, by the way. I can run 8.5K like nothing, but 8.5K with dogs and a backpack, I don't got the gear for this. But when my bike broke down, it left me no choice. And look at this. It's like, I'm breaking in gear here. I don't know how this is gonna work. I'm gonna run, and that's how it's gonna work. I'm a Rich Roll podcast kind of guy. If you haven't checked him out, you should check him out. Mandatory stuff.
Put on your rigs. I look like such a noob. The run is not going awful, but GoPro died. What else is new? I like that GoPro, and I also hate that GoPro as a vlogging setup. I think I got 2 or 3K left to go. I gotta talk about this when we get in. I need a cathartic experience about the GoPro. Guys, the bright side, it's a beautiful day in Winnipeg. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful.
So for most of my vlogging, it's one setup that's with a GoPro. This is the Joby GorillaPod that is intended for GoPros. I forget which model it's called, but I use that with the GoPro. It's not bad. This little ball thing here doesn't always lock in very well, but this, whoa, jeez. Put it back together here. This big ass Jimmy rigged setup is what 70% of the shots are. If I'm at the pool, basically if I'm anywhere besides in the office, actually I used this camera setup here all while I was traveling. But most of the shots are taken on this. That is a GoPro Hero 5 with a Rode Video Micro and GoPro audio adapter plugged into the Video Micro. It's not great. I'm not a massive fan of GoPro. The 5 is way better than the 4. The image quality is like a little bit better, but what's nice about this as opposed to the 4 is this is waterproof without using a case. I can very quickly switch from that super wide angle GoPro view to a more narrow view, so it's less fisheyed, looks a little more typical of a lot of videos, and I'll switch back and forth. The touch screen on the back is pretty good. It gets really wonky when my hands are wet in the pool, but that's critical for setting up shots really quickly, and then just pressing and holding the button on top from dead off is nice because that instantly starts recording. But it's a pain in the ass. Like, it's an outright pain in the ass for a lot of reasons. Number one is I need this stupid thing to actually plug any sort of microphone into it because there's no audio input and there's no jack. So I need this ginormous thing to actually get into the USB adapter. Then on top of that, there was no mount for any sort of audio. And the audio on this is atrocious. So we'll put a clip in there from one clip when I was by the pool and I actually used the audio from this. It's awful.
I don't like dolphins because dolphins eat me.
Okay, so no dolphins.
We had to mount this cold shoe on top. So we've glued this cold shoe on top with Sugru. It's like, I don't know, it's a really hard rubber. That was actually really cool. I liked how that worked out. The next thing that is just, it's so stupid, is to actually get this audio input into the GoPro, I have to take off the door on the side of this, which all of a sudden then makes it not waterproof, and the door has to like go away. And I lost the door in the travels on the weekend. I'm actually surprised that it took that long. It's kind of the best of a bad situation. If I want something small, portable, and inexpensive that if I drop this, it's like $400 or $500 to replace, it's not the worst thing, but I think we're gonna graduate out of it. What I wanna use, oh, and the battery life, as you saw this morning, crap. Maybe 20 to 30 minutes of recording time. We use for the good shots is this setup. And what we got here is Panasonic GH4 that shoots 4K. We always do this just in HD because 4K murders a lot of space and is hard to work with. And when we gotta crank out a video every single day, the quicker we can go, the better. I always put a wide angle lens on here, and that gets you this nice, you see this nice immersive feel, and you get like a big shot, but you're nice and tight in on me. And the microphone is closer, so the audio is better. And then on top of it, we've got the Rode Video Mic Pro, which works really well up to, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet. And then down here is the Joby GorillaPod SLR, I think. This is not bad. It's a decent setup. I don't mind it. What I don't like about it is the low light capabilities of the GH4 are crap. Anything around 1600 ISO, which isn't a terrible amount of light getting in. It gets really grainy. So while I like this setup for now, I think we're gonna graduate out of it and onto something else. I gotta go and pretty myself up, and we gotta go to a shoot right away. Okay, we gotta go. I'm done with you.
You're gonna go over now and get
Big Triathlon Taren planning going on. It's right there. That's Mrs. Triathlon Taren. No triathlon, Kim.
You picking my nose? Of course you are.
Now I am.
You're in the vlog.
Am I in the vlog?
Yeah, you're also quite the hit in the vlog. Somebody said today that the girls look like they would be fun to drink with.
Oh!
And I said, that's their specialty.
You know me so well already.
I run fast, they drink.
And then we make fun of you
For being a lightweight.
For not being as fun as I.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna run.
Okay, fun.
I had to stop in at the bike shop to get single speed chainring bolts to fix that little issue that I had yesterday. Now I'm ready to go home. I think 8.5K run is what it's working out to. Now I'm in the bowels of downtown though. That was a very nice short way home for a very icky feeling run. I'm not fit enough for 2-a-days right now. I need some rest and recovery still from Ironman Campeche. More swimming, less running, maybe. We'll see what Coach Pat says when he gets home. See you, Trainiacs. Guys, you worked so hard